Good evening, you guys. Corey here. Today is the 30th of June, and right now it is 10:43 p.m. And before we get started, I just want to share something with you guys. I really don't know where to start with it, but it's something. It's part of life, and it's something that we're all going through. And I just thought I'd share my experience about it, because I know that some of you that are watching are going through the same things, and some of you watching have been through this already, and you know what it's like. Today I went to my school to make a payment, and it's already been it's been about a year and a half since I started going to school to be a fitness trainer, and I graduated already 6 months ago. And well, today I went to go make a payment, and I still owe a lot of money. Like a lot of money. And I'm pretty much today I basically got my last chance to be consistent on my payments, because if I don't, then they're gonna send it into my credit, and it's gonna affect my credit pretty bad. And honestly, to be honest about it, even my credit's not exactly the greatest. It is a little bit embarrassing, but I'm just being honest about it. And I just want to, especially to you young folks that are around my age. I'm only 22, for those of you who are around my age and still learning and growing exactly how society runs things. The economy, the whole money system, insurance. Like you gradually learn more and more about these things as you go along. And credit is very, very important, especially when you're older and you're trying to buy a house or trying to buy a car or anything like that. You need to have good credit, because credit shows that you pay your things. Credit shows that you pay your dues. Okay, and as much as that quote unquote sucks, it's part of society and how society connects. It's how a car dealership knows that you are gonna pay for the car, so then that dealership doesn't take the chance of selling you that vehicle and then you not paying for it and then losing that money, and then you end up getting that car impounded anyway because you couldn't even keep up on the payments. Things like that. All this is very, very important. And it's like, one thing I also want to share, it's like, it's very, very important, but sometimes it's still hard to actually take the actions to sometimes it's hard to do the things that are right to do. And I guess that's just, it's part of life, and that's how we grow as individuals, as children of the universe. I want to say, for those of you who do believe in a higher power, today I went to my old security job, because right now my LA fitness job, it's kind of going a little bit slow, and I'm not exactly considered full-time anymore. And as it happens, and you have to do what you have to do. But I went over to my security job earlier, because they told me that if I ever needed more support, then they're more than happy to help me. And it sucked. Like, I didn't want to go back. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm backtracking, you know, like, this was so last year, like, why am I don't want to go back here. And it brings me back to the point of why I had started this, because I wanted to create a YouTube channel teaching people how they could create. You know, like, we have the power to create our own lives, but in order to do that, we have to actually be in tune with, you know, the external. We have to be congruent with the external. We have to know how things work. And that also poses the point of success. Like, nobody wakes up and they're just a success. You know, successful people, they've been searching, they've failed, they've been through different things, they've been through heck and back, you know, they've hurt themselves doing things, they've failed at many things, they've let many people down. I know I have, you know, from all the endeavors that I've tried at. You know, I tried my own, like, businesses, you know, I've tried 2 multi-level marketings, I've tried, you know, a lot of sales things, you know, and they weren't for me. They didn't end up working out. But you know what? As much as it sucked at the time, I couldn't have been more thankful to go through that and have that experience, because of what I learned through it. Not only all the things that I've learned from it, but also what I am doing now. Going through all that prepared me for what I am doing now, and the person that I'm meant to become. Because we all have that vision of us, of who we want to be, and who we dream of ourselves to be, and the things we want to leave behind in this world. We're all always dreaming and thinking about that, because we all want to be great. We all want to be remembered. You know, like, who doesn't want to leave this place better than which they came? You know, that's why we are all created. That's why we are all sent here, to help create a new world. You know, to learn how the world is working now, and then use that to implement innovation to help create a better one. You know, that's what we are all here for, and that's essentially why I started doing everything with this. And basically the whole meaning behind what I'm saying, you guys, it's nobody's perfect, and don't just try to be perfect. You know, we are perfect in our own imperfect ways, but perfection is something which is a constant strive for. It is something that can never be reached, because there's always growing to do. There is no limit to the expansion of our mind. There is no limit to the things that we can learn. And every time we do learn something, we find out better ways to do it. We innovate. We find better ways to improve on something. Always, always, always. There is no limit. And yeah, point being, you guys, just have patience with yourself. Most importantly, have patience with yourself, and do the things necessary for the cultivation of your dreams. You know, and yeah, I just thought I'd share that. And one last thing. One last thing I want to share with you guys when it comes to budgeting money. Money is very important, as much as no one likes that idea, okay? I mean, people do. You know, money is not evil, okay? Don't listen to people that say money's bad, because money is up there with oxygen, okay? It is a necessity. Money is a symbol of exchange. Everything that is in my room had to get from money. I couldn't have had this book unless I had $20 to just pay for it. I wouldn't have this dream rock, this live rock, and this laugh rock if my parents didn't pay for it. Like money, 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 money. The world really is run around currency, exchange, forms of exchange, service. In order to make money, you have to provide service. Okay, people are paying for your service. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the money system and how it's working. Okay, maybe with corporate wise, there are a lot of things that they could do better. That multi-level marketing has gotten right, but there are also some things that even multi-level marketing can improve upon, and there's improvements that need to be made everywhere. Improvements need to be made everywhere, because there is always more to be done to it. Money is very important, you guys, and a lot of people are in debt. And the older you get, the more you realize the importance of budgeting, and that's kind of what is dawning upon me. It's like it's important, but you don't really start to discipline yourself when it comes to budgeting your money until you're pretty much in a hole. I just thought I'd share that really quick, because today I met a guy. His name was Ross, and yeah, it just happened. Like I had finished with the client, and I had an hour till my next client, so I had changed to go work out, and this guy was standing by my desk, and I was talking to him for a little bit, like, hey, like, how's your day? I asked him if he was there for training, if he was waiting for the other trainer. He said no, that he was just, thinking. And I'm not really one to ask people, especially people I don't know, what they're thinking about. But this guy, I just ended up asking, like, what you thinking about, man? Like, if you don't mind me asking. And he told me he was thinking about God, and right away I was just like, really, like what are you thinking about with him? Like, what? I want to hear what it is you're thinking about. And he was telling me how grateful he is and how blessed he is for the things he has, and how God is always taking care of him. And immediately he just, I remembered a lot of things, like miracles that happened. I know you guys have had an experience where it's just like, wow, like, that was no accident. And this guy was telling me, like, because God is the universal consciousness which permeates all things and has given form to all things. This infinite intelligence that knows all within itself, moves all within itself, and holds all things in their places. The reason I started this, because I wanted to help the universe, like, help my brothers and sisters, help the world, help people find our source, our Father, in the sense, the all-mind, the parent mind, the mind that watches over everyone, looks out for everyone, takes care of everyone, waits for everyone, every day is calling to you to manifest your dreams, because He had created you to help create a new world. Because remember, we are all embodiments of this infinite intelligence, and it is through us that it is learning about itself, and it is through us that it continues to create as as its own manifestations. There is only one source. And this guy told me, he said, God wants you to know that He's always there with you, that He's always there for you. And I know He is. He's wrapped around all of us right now. He's listening to everything that we are saying. He knows. And yeah, just right away I just was like, no matter what it is that you do, God is always there for you, even if you do things that make you feel like you're not worthy to be His child. When you do things that make you feel like you're not worthy to be, considered a child of the universe, especially when you go from being on top of things and you lose your footing and you fall. True strength really does come from getting back up, because everybody falls, not everyone gets back up. And I recently fell, and it's hard, but you have to keep getting back up, because every day you're thinking about it. You don't go a day without thinking about it. Right now we are on chapter 5. And if you actually made it to this part, thank you. And thank you for listening. Even though this is something that I'm going through, and I have a lot to learn. And most important, less perfection and more authenticity. Because if you try to be perfect, people will see, and nobody's perfect. So just be you. And let's continue. Chapter 5, Preparation. Quote, "Draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you." End quote. If you become like God, you can read His thoughts. And if you do not, you will find the inspiration, perception of truth impossible. You can never become a great man or woman until you have overcome anxiety, worry, and fear. It is impossible for an anxious person, a worried person, or a fearful person to perceive truth. All things are distorted and thrown out of their proper relations by such mental states, and those who are in them cannot read the thoughts of God. Now that is one statement that I want you to, that viewer, I want you to bear in mind, okay? Any person who is in a state of anxiety, worry, or fear cannot perceive truth, because their mind is thrown out of its proper distortion. Okay, it is very, very important. And reader, I want to challenge you, okay? Next time something happens and you feel yourself getting, a little frustrated, or you feel yourself getting a little anxious for something or worried about something, take a step back and really analyze how you're feeling and what happens while you're in that state of being. I find myself, when I get frustrated over things, or when I'm worried about something, or if I'm in a hurry, I end up forgetting about things, or end up misplacing something, or end up losing something, because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, because I'm too busy being frustrated over something I don't need to be frustrated about. And when you're frustrated over something, not only do you shrink, because remember, positivity, when you're positive, you're relaxed. When you're relaxed, you're just, just present and aware, and you see things happening around you. But when you're frustrated, your thoughts sink in, your mind contracts within itself, because you move into that state of vibration, okay, and that vibration shrinks, okay, and you're constantly just putting your consciousness in that whatever it is that's frustrating you, or if you're in a hurry and you're just thinking about making it to the place on time and you have to leave, that's why you end up forgetting about things, because remember, things stay with you in accordance to your consciousness. Okay, the reason why you forgot about it is because the thought of it left you. Okay, it left your consciousness that you needed to do that, or that. Okay, for example, you're in a hurry. Okay, you're thinking about getting to work on time, and then there's traffic. Okay, I gotta go. And then what happens? You end up leaving, I don't know, your book, or your food, or your keys, or something vitally important. Okay, the reason why you ended up forgetting about it was because you let yourself get into the state of hurry, and you were focused on making it there on time, and you weren't focused on making sure you had everything you needed for the day. And that's usually how you end up missing things, because that's how I find myself to miss things. Okay, let's continue. If you are poor, or if you are anxious about business or financial matters, you are recommended to study carefully the first volume of this series, The Science of Getting Rich. And if you haven't watched that with us yet, it is on our channel. Feel free to check it out. That will present to you a solution for your problems of this nature, no matter how large or how complicated they may seem. There is not the least cause for worry about financial affairs. Every person who wills to do so may rise above want, have all needs, and become rich. The same source upon which you are proposed to draw for mental unfoldment and spiritual power is at your service for the supply of all your material wants. To throw in there, when you make the decision to grow, look at how things come towards you. You start to meet people. Okay, you meet people that lead you in the direction to help you further your advancement in your own personal growth. When you make a conscious decision to grow, okay, you put your foot forward, and the universe will take a step to meet you halfway. You must take the action to make it happen, and the universe will do the rest, because you made the decision, hey, this is what I want to do. And God wants you to have the things that you want. So He will give you the thing necessary for your further advancement in order for you to grow. But also, one thing on your end, you have to be willing to let go of those things that no longer help you grow, that you have outgrown, so you can make room for the things that do help you grow. One reason why, remember, we only have 24 hours in a day, okay? Everyone has the same 24 hours. It's what we are doing with those 24 hours that's really going to determine what our tomorrow is going to be like. Remember, action, action, action. Thoughts, words, and actions. Actions speak louder than words, and words speak louder than thoughts, because words are thoughts expressed, and actions are thoughts materialized. Or actions are words and thoughts materialized, we should say. We must take action. Study this truth until it is fixed in your thoughts, and until anxiety is banished from your mind. Enter the certain way which leads to material riches. Now remember, the way to material riches is the exact same way to any spiritual growth that you are looking for. Okay, any internal growth that you want, okay, it is given to you the same way for any external growth or any external necessities or pleasures, which you can say that you are looking for. Remember, it first starts within. Okay, you first must have the knowledge on how to make that happen. Remember, there are certain ways to make it happen. Okay, success isn't just you don't just go out there and be successful. Okay, there are definite principles to being successful. Okay, you must learn the principles of success, and you need to make the conscientious effort to actually move in that direction. Okay, you have to discipline yourself. You have to make it a subconscious habit. You have to become the person you have to become a successful person. Okay, remember, it is an unfoldment, a continuous advancement towards a worthy ideal. How Earl Nightingale How Earl Nightingale says it, okay? Success is a continuous advancement towards a worthy ideal. It is something that you wake up and do every day. Success comes from what you do. It's not something that just happens. It is an unfoldment, experience, learning. Again, if you are anxious or worried about your health, realize it is possible for you to attain perfect health so that you may have strength sufficient for all that you wish to do and more, which is why staying fit is very important. Because if you go out, make all the money in the world, but you're not even healthy enough to go even see the world, what was the point in the first place? You know? That intelligence which stands ready to give you wealth and mental and spiritual power will rejoice to give you health also. Perfect health is yours for the asking, if you will only obey the simple laws of life and live aright. Conquer ill health and cast out fear. But it is not enough to rise above financial and physical anxiety and worry. You must rise above moral evil-doing as well. Sound your inner consciousness now for the motives which actuate you, and make sure they are right. You must cast out lust, and cease to be ruled by appetite, and you must begin to govern appetite. You must eat only to satisfy hunger, never for gluttonous pleasure. And in all things you must make the flesh obey the spirit. You are spirit, you and I, and we are living in this temple, a body. You are in control. You are the master and captain of this ship. Take heed and create. Let's learn. Let's continue learning how, as spirits, we are the flame. We are the fire. We are the ones. We are the consciousness. We are the formless substance which gives life to form. Remember, it all has its beginning in mind, beginning within, beginning in consciousness, and it has its end in material, its end in form, its end in manifestation. But in order to actually get to that manifestation, we have to learn the principle on how to make it happen with our lives, because we have to bring ourselves in harmony with it in order for this thing to bring us the things that we desire. But it is not enough to rise. Okay, we just read that one. You must lay aside greed. You have no unworthy motive in your desire to become rich and powerful. It is legitimate and right to desire riches if you want them for the sake of the soul, but not if you desire them for the lust of the flesh. Cast out pride and vanity. Have no thought of trying to rule over others or of outdoing them. This is a vital point. There is no temptation so insidious as to the selfish desire to rule over others. Nothing so appeals to the average man or woman as to sit in the uppermost places at feasts, to be respectfully saluted in the marketplace, to be called rabbi, master. To exercise some sort of control over others is the secret motive of every selfish person. The struggle for power over others is the battle of the competitive world, and you must rise above that world and its motives and aspirations and seek only for life. Cast out envy. You can have all that you want, and you need not envy any man what he has. Above all things, see to it that you do not hold malice or enmity towards anyone. To do so cuts you off from the mind whose treasures you seek to make your own. Quote, he that loveth not his brother loveth not God. End quote. Lay aside all narrow personal ambition and determine to seek the highest good, to be swayed by no unworthy selfishness. Go over all the foregoing and set these moral temptations out of your heart one by one. Determine to keep them out. Then resolve that you will not only abandon all evil thoughts, but that you will forsake all deeds, habits, and courses of action which do not commend themselves to your noblest ideals. Remember what he was saying. Anybody can become great. Everybody has great mental faculties, great physical faculties, okay? But you only obtain this greatness by using these instruments in a great way. Okay, everybody is great, but you can only be considered a great person until you take the greatness you have within you and manifest that greatness outside of you. You must cast out lust. You must cast out greed. You must cast out gluttony. The 7 virtues. You must practice the virtues in order to maintain a healthy spirit, clean internal world. Remember, it is the world within that creates the world without. And whatever is happening in here is going to embody itself out here. So it is very, very important that we let go of the things, that we make the effort as hard as it is. And even if you can't do it now, do the best you can now, because remember, every day in every way you are getting better and better. Have patience with yourself, because it's not something that you're just going to be able to do like that. Okay? I had heard from a client, people don't really make the decision to do those things necessary for that type of lifestyle until they're like 27 to 30 years old. And the first thing I was saying was, who wants to wait that long in order to be the most that they can be? And at the same time, I was thinking like wow, I'm barely 22 years old. Like why do I have to discipline myself so hard? Why do I have to even try so hard to even try to apply all this stuff in my life, because the 22-year-old I see, down the street, he's not, I don't know, he's, okay, I can't say that because I don't even know them. It's just in this area that there's not a lot of people that read in Fontana, especially at 22. Let's continue. Go over all the foregoing and set these moral temptations out of your heart, one by one, determined to keep them out. Then resolve that you will not only abandon all evil thought, but you will forsake all deeds, habits, and courses of action which do not commend themselves to your noblest ideals. This is supremely important. Make this resolution with all the power of your soul, and you are ready for the next step towards greatness, which you will find explained in the following chapter. And that is the end of chapter 5 on preparation. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. If you liked it, please share and subscribe, and let's go over chapter 6 right now.